This is lesson 10. It's called Shape Robots. So the skills here are connecting lines. That lines have to connect to make shapes. We have a lot of this happening, and we call this a lazy lines. They're just lines. They're not really a shape yet. Shapes are closed forms. So they connect to one another to make a shape, a space, a form. They're a container for something on our paper. The skill here is tracing. I use these like shapes from, I think they're from math class. They're always in the discard pile in the teacher's room. And we use those to trace the shapes. They lay out their design, they mix and match, they move the shapes around, and then they actually trace the shapes. And tracing is a skill, and not all of the kindergarten classes, not all the kids have it. They're all coming into kindergarten with different backgrounds. So I find this to be great to learn how to hold the shape down and how to trace around it, because they don't know all how to do that. So tracing is important, kind of like a lost skill. And then we talk about using crayons appropriately. So we talk about using a permanent marker. We talk about holding and tracing shapes, laying out their design that they can move it around, they can change it. And we talk about how to use the crayon. So I do teach them how to peel a crayon, how to break a crayon, how to use the side of the crayon versus the tip. The entire robot has to be colored in with the dinosaur grip with the tip of their crayon, and then the background is a crayon rubbing. So they have to fill the entire piece of paper. So the robot is usually in the center somewhere, doing whatever they choose, however they do it. I've never had two kids create the same robot with the tracer shapes and then some sort of background colored in with the side of the crayon. So again, connected lines make shapes. Mark making, so they then decorate once they move the shapes off their paper. They're done tracing it. We talk about using dots, dashes, lines, and shapes to decorate the robot with buttons or eyes or switches or patterns, designs. We talk about no peekaboo coloring with the crayon, and that we have to use the entire piece of paper. We don't want this like big piece of paper with this itty bitty thing in the middle of it. We want to start the robot at like the top of the paper and then kind of like work our way down to whatever kind of robot the kids are going to make. And they all make something different and amazing and fun, and they're really cool to see. There is a slideshow. These are 40-minute classes for kindergarten. So, and where kindergartners have about a 5-minute attention span, I have to fill that time wisely. So there's a slideshow, and we talk about all of these things, connecting their lines together, coloring. We show some examples of robots. What are robots? There's usually a book that I read to them about robots, and then maybe like I find like a video. So like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and then directions. So showing them how to use the marker, tracing a few shapes in front of them, showing that they can like lay out their design, talking about sharing the shapes that I can use. If I only have one shape, I can trace it twice if I want the same arm on both sides, but I don't have to have the same arm on both sides or even the same leg. And then I can pick up the shape and flip it over and put it on the other side to end up with two arms. That blows a lot of kids' minds. So this is a fan favorite simply because it's robots and something that they all kind of are excited about. Some make robot people, some have made robot animals, some just make something that is like a machine that's not necessarily a person or an animal. There's like a million ways the kids have done this, and it's like really fun because it's open-ended. There's no really right or wrong way to do it as long as they're using the marker appropriately. I do like hype up the marker. This is a special treat. It's a privilege. If they're not using it appropriately, they can have a black colored pencil or a black crayon, and not as fun that it only goes on the paper. It doesn't go anywhere else. So the next video would be 10, this is 10.1. So 10.2 will be the slideshow example. And then 10.3 will be showing how to trace the shapes. It can be anything you have. It could be chunks of cardboard just cut up randomly. It could be really any kind of shapes you can find. Like I could just trace this if I have this kicking around, a box, you know, a cap. They're usually geometric shapes that I have because I already have them. So I hope that you follow along. This is a playlist on my YouTube channel titled something like Kindergarten Curriculum Art. It's a free kindergarten curriculum that walks the adult through as well as the child on how to do art education at the kindergarten level. And they're all of my best lesson ideas and just how I build up from one skill to the next, so that by the time they're in first grade, they all have like the same foundational skills, and then we can hit the ground running in first grade. So I hope this is helpful. Subscribing to the channel is free. It helps the channel grow. Liking the video helps. A lot of the videos have the comments turned off because they're made for kids, so I don't get a lot of feedback. So I do have a Facebook group called Art Teacher Maven Hangout or Lounge. I think it's Hangout. So head over there to drop your questions, and I can also take video requests. Thank you. Have a great day.